Marvin Menard's pinch single with 2 outs in the 8th sparked the Giants to a win over St. Louis in Game 1 of the series. But the Cardinals' most dangerous weapon is Mark McGwire, who cannot escape the link to Babe Ruth and Roger Maris. Today, Sean Estes takes him on against McGwire and the Cardinals, coming up next on Fox Sports Bay Area. Now as the fans file into 3Com Park, overcast skies above the ballpark. Second game of this 4-game series between the St. Louis Cardinals and the San Francisco Giants. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper, along with my partner Mike Krukow. Well, we always talk about the future of the game and the young hitters that are coming up. Well, today the future lies with a couple of young pitchers.
Yeah, a similarity in today's game in that Matt Morris of the Cardinals and Sean Estes, 2 of the bright young starters in the National League, going against each other today. But the similarities do not stop there. Both teams, veteran ball clubs, they play with a lot of intensity, reflective of their managers. These teams are in their prime, they're playing well, and it's going to be a great game and a great series.
All right, stay with us. When we come back, we will have the starting lineups and the first pitch right after this.
Giants baseball on Fox Sports Bay Area is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. With fares so low, you have the freedom to go places. By Discover Card, it pays to discover. By Hoover, nobody gets the dirt like Hoover. Nobody. And by Grand Auto Supply, doing whatever it takes to get you and your car to the Giants games with forever warranted parts.
Cloudy here at the ballpark as Sean Estes has just completed his warm-up tosses down the right field line as he heads down to the Giants dugout. Mikey, you've taken that walk before.
Yeah, that's really when you got your game face honed in. You've gone through the lineup about 50 times prior to the game. You know how you're going to want to pitch everybody. Now you're leaving the bullpen and you actually know what's working or what isn't working, and you start to formulate your final plans as to how you want to open it up, and that's what's going through his mind right now.
All right, let's take a look at the St. Louis Cardinals lineup. And that lineup, of course, is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Royce Clayton in the leadoff spot, followed by Brian Jordan. Hitting third is Mark McGwire. He needs 1 RBI for career 1,000. Ray Langford will be the cleanup hitter, second in the National League with a .469 batting average. Following Langford is Gary Gaetti. He'll play at third base. Ron Gant is hitting sixth. He'll be in left field. David Howard is the second baseman, hitting seventh. Hitting eighth is Tom Lampkin. And then pitching and batting ninth is the young right-hander for the St. Louis Cardinals, Matt Morris. Well, Sean Estes is taking a little bit more time getting loose, so the Giants haven't left their dugout yet.
Well, the team keys on the starting pitcher, and after you leave the bench, you want to, after you leave the bullpen rather, you want to come back to the bench and you want to get a blow. Just make sure you're calmed down before you go out there. Gather your thoughts one last time, and then head on out. It's time to do business.
A big, strong right-handed hitting lineup led by Mark McGwire this afternoon, and I'm sure that some of the things, Mike, you were talking about Estes thinking about, I'm sure he's thinking about Mark McGwire. You would have to think about him.
Well, this is a very offensive lineup all the way through, and they are diversified in how you have to go about pitching them. You can't pitch this team one way. You can't just stay on their hands and try and backdoor with breaking balls. You have to mix speeds because you have a variety of guys who are strong inside, guys who are strong away. You've got to make pitches and mix speeds with them. They think well, and they identify what you're getting over the plate early. So they eliminate things that you can do with the baseball if you're not getting them over for strikes, and they look for pitches that you have to throw, and that's how they beat you. Veteran ball clubs, both these teams, as we talked about earlier, are really in their prime, and they think extremely well. They don't panic, very patient. For Sean Estes, classic lefty, right out of the mold of Warren Spahn and Jerry Koosman, Steve Carlton. Throws high three-quarters with a great overhand curveball. And he always looks to establish that pitch early. That means get it over and throw it for strikes. He puts it in the Cardinals' mind that he can have that pitch anytime he wants to, and he's going to have a good day. Defensively behind Estes today for the Giants, Bonds, Hamilton, and Diaz in the outfield. Miller, Sanchez, Kent, and Snow in the infield. Brent Maine behind the plate. 1 error has been committed by the Giants in the last 7 games, a .993 fielding percentage, and that is second in the National League. The Giants' defense has been outstanding early on in 1998 for the first 10 games.
Estes is out there for the 3rd time. He had a no decision against the Astros in a game in which the Giants won in the 13th. That was the season opener, and then pitched very well in Arizona in his second start. Took the loss, a 3-2 final score. Estes went 7 1/3 innings, allowed 8 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts. All the runs he gave up came in the first inning. So I suppose everyone will be watching how Estes does in the first inning. Charlie Relaford behind home plate. Paul Schreiber will be at first base. Ed Montague at second, and Dana DeMuth umpiring at third.
I think Estes' last start, he was a little tentative in the first inning, tried to be too fine early on, got behind the count, and after he gave up the 3 spot in the first, he just said this is not that tough. Became more aggressive on a first pitch and had a good outing.
First pitch of the ball game is a strike to Royce Clayton, hitting .351, and this game is underway at 1:08.
Clayton has played 8 games as the leadoff hitter. He has hit safely in the first inning in 7 of those.
Pitch is low to Royce Clayton. 2 for 12 lifetime against Sean Estes.
This is where he's always wanted to hit, in that first spot. You get a lot of fastballs in that spot.
And that one was up high. I thought for a second it may have hit the bat, but it didn't. 2 balls and 1 strike. There's Brian Jordan on deck, followed by Mark McGwire. Giants winning last night 5-3. Marvin Bernard, one of the heroes. On the ground, Ray Sanchez has got it. 1 out, and that's the way this game gets started. So Clayton retired 6-3, bringing up Brian Jordan. Jordan comes in batting .231 with a home run, 3 RBIs. Missed a lot of last year due to an injury. Jordan is 6 for 26. And he takes it low. So a hero yesterday, Mike, back in the Pine the next day.
Now, Dusty Baker talked about Marvin Bernard. He said he has accepted that role, and he prepares himself for it. He is a very tough, mentally sound player.
Hammered to center. Hamilton giving chase, and he's got it. Jordan hit it to the deepest part of the ball field, and it gave Hamilton some time to chase it down.
A good jump off of the bat from Hamilton going over his right shoulder. That ball was hit well. Hey, for Brian Jordan, who won the disabled list last year with a bulging disc, missed most of 1997. He didn't show any sluggishness in his hips there. He really got through that swing nicely. Good play from Hamilton to haul it down.
Here's McGwire. 4 home runs on the year. Hit a home run in the first 4 games. And he takes a fastball for a strike. It sure sounded good in the mid of Brent Maine.
And right away he established the inside corner with that strike. Now they can go outside.
Yep. And it misses away. Was named National League Player of the Week. I guess you would, with 4 home runs and 12 RBIs the first week. And it's 1-2.
93-mile-an-hour fastball from Estes. McGwire, a good breaking ball, and so far in this at bat, Estes has stayed away from the curve.
Low to even the count at 2-2.
McGwire, a good breaking ball hitter because he's a good low ball hitter. Always has been throughout his career.
Popped him up. Kent Snow. And it's J.T. Snow who'll make the catch. A 1-2 inning for Sean Estes. 1/2 inning in the books. Cardinals nothing. Giants coming up. Giants lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Darrell Hamilton will lead it off, followed by Bill Miller. Bonds will hit third. Then the cleanup hitter is Jeff Kent. Hitting fifth is J.T. Snow. 10 for his last, 30 for Snow. Then it's Brent Main. Alex Diaz will hit seventh. Ray Sanchez eighth. And pitching and batting ninth is Sean Estes.
Matt Morris, second year. Got a lot of movement on his fastball. He threw 217 innings last year as a rookie, and that does not happen very often. But what was more impressive, in those 217 innings, he only gave up 12 home runs. And that tells you he's got a good sink on his fastball. Great movement, but good command of it. Fastball that runs up there 92, 93 miles per hour. Good slider and a great changeup. He's got the whole package, and he is a horse. This guy's a future #1.
2-1 to Darrell Hamilton, batting .282. Hamilton 1 for 2 in the game last night as he fouls it out of play.
Morris Kipe, just 23 years old. You can look at the totals from 1997, 33 starts, 12-9, and really should have been a lot more wins. He didn't get a lot of run support last year, but an excellent 3.19 ERA. He's had a sore shoulder this spring, so they didn't want to take any chances. Very careful with him, as you can imagine. 23-year-old right-hander with a future like his. Cardinals have two of the best young right-handers in all of baseball between Morris and Alan Bennis. Bennis on the disabled list till about mid-June.
3-2 to Hamilton. Inside, he walked him.
Defensively for the Cardinals, Gant, Langford, and Jordan. A very fast outfield. On the infield, Gaetti, Clayton, Howard, and McGuire. A lot of experience on the corners. A full-time Gold Glover in Gaetti, and a Gold Glover for the first time in 1990 rather for McGuire. Lampkin behind the plate, and on the mound, Morris.
Bill Miller hitting .394, a couple of home runs, 4 RBIs, and the pitch is low. Miller came in the game last night for defense, and he did play defense, but he also picked up a base hit and an RBI. It's great when you can come in for defense and contribute offensively. Outside to make it 2-0. There's Ron Wotus as he goes through the signs to Miller and to Hamilton. Bonds is on deck. Miller's got a base hit into left center field. Hamilton will stop at second, and the Giants are making some noise here in the first inning. That's the Bill Miller stroke that left him for a couple of games.
Well, 2 games ago, he struck out 3 times, twice looking. And here it gets something right over the plate. Good hitter's pitch at the belt. And he quickly spanks it. I asked him about the 3 strikeouts, and he said, you know, I have my strike zone, and I'm not going to come out of it. When I have a bad game, he says, I'm just going to stay mentally tough, because in the long run, my strike zone and my definition of it is going to prove me successful. He just proved it there.
Here's Barry Bonds. And Bonds takes it low and in. Bonds had a double right over the bag in the game last night. He was 1 for 4 in a swing and a miss.
93 miles per hour on the gun for Morris.
He took something off and a strike, and what a beauty of a pitch that was.
And with good location. Started the pitch away. I think Bonds gives up on this pitch a little bit. Just points and paints that outside corner.
Now, Morris has held Bonds 0 for 7 in his career with 4 strikeouts.
That big curveball for Morris Kipe is not only a good breaking ball, but it acts as an off-speed pitch as well. Throwing 93, then you throw that curveball up there, that's 75 miles per hour. That's a big difference.
Bonds hits one to the right side, and they will get the one at second. And Giants will have runners at the corners for Jeff Kent. 4-6 on the fielder's choice, and here's Kent, who has cooled off. He is hitting .341 with a home run, 11 RBIs. Kent went 0 for 4 in the game last night. But this is a spot where Jeff Kent usually comes through for the Giants, or he certainly did last year and in the beginning of this year so far. He is hitless in his last 13 at-bats. On the outside corner for a strike.
That's great first pitch location from Morris. 94 miles per hour, good sink on the fastball, but location is right on the black part of the plate away at the knees.
Nothing in one to Kent. Runner goes. Kent swings and pops it down the right field line. A long run for Jordan, and that will be out of play. One big bounce off the railing and then back into the seats.
One thing Tom Lampkin will do, a very aggressive catcher, and he gets an 0-2 counts with men on third base. He likes the breaking ball down the dirt. It's a strikeout pitch, but he is not intimidated whatsoever about a possible pass ball situation with the runner at third. He'll come out there and say, you bounce one up there. He'll swing over the top, but don't worry about that ball getting by me. It won't do it. He wants a fastball outside now.
You know, Morris is looking for the strikeout, and Kent had a rip at it and hits it back out of play. The base runners, Hamilton at third, who walked. Bonds at first, who reached on a force play. Bottom of the first inning. Giants trying to get on the board first. And it's Kent waiting on Matt Morris. And now the throw to first, and Bonds gets back. There's JT Snow, who had a terrific game yesterday, going 3 for 4 and knocking in a pair. But right now it's up to Jeff Kent in that cleanup spot to get Hamilton home. And he had another vicious hack, and it's still 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes.
Everybody's looking down the sights of those guns there.
Checking out the wood. Bonds goes, swing and a miss. Throw down to second is not in time. Kent strikes out. Bonds with a stolen base.
A 95-mile-an-hour fastball at the knees with movement. Tough pitch and a 2-strike count from Morris, and he gets the K. See the location and where it was. Man, tough pitch location-wise, especially when you got 95 miles per hour behind it. Good luck.
Indeed. Here's Snow. Second and third with a base open. A strike, and it's 0-1. Morris, a lot like Estes, he'll start off a hitter with an off-speed pitch, and if you get it in for a strike, it really sets those hitters on their heels. Low.
Big at bat now for the Giants. Bonds not able to knock in a run. Neither was Kent. Now with Snow with 2 outs, he gets a base hit here. He just picks up his teammates. That's what it's all about through 162 games.
Hamilton at third. Bonds is at second.
Snow can get a hit. Nobody will remember Kent's strikeout.
Now Morris is ready, and the pitch in the dirt. A nice play by Lampkin. Whoa.
That's that curveball down the dirt. That's a pitch of design. They know that a lot of lefties like Snow, they'll go after that pitch. But this one really is a tough play because he pulls it across, and Lampkin to keep that ball in front of him. That was a great play.
Actually didn't even get his body in front of it. He hit him in the hands.
Well, he had the proper positioning with his hands. He didn't go to the backhand, which is where you can lose a lot of balls left or right as a catcher.
Strike, and it's 2-2.
Nasty pitch. You'll see great movement on his pitches, but his location is what makes him special. Sit outside, and that backdoor breaking ball is not an easy pitch to throw with that big curveball. Drops it right down there, low and away.
Got him on a foul tip. Hanging on is Lampkin, and that'll do it. Giants had an opportunity here in the first. They did not come through. We'll head to the second. Sean Estes back out on the mound. 0-0.
Plan now to avoid day of game lines, and here's how you do it with a Giant 6-pack. That's right, 6-packs are great packages because you get 5 games and you get 1 free. They start at only $25, and there are 6 different packs to choose from. Call 1-800-SF-GIANT right now. Ticket representatives are standing by. And
the one game that you get free is a Dodger game. And those 6 different packs to choose from, each pack has a free Dodger game. Awesome. Now this little girl is trying to find her Tootsie Roll that she dropped. Here's Ray Lankford, who takes a strike.
Boy, Estes has a good feel of that curveball. That's a big pitch to try and control. Get it over first pitch.
Out of play, 0-2.
Estes, like Morris, has the type of curveball that is both a breaking ball and an off-speed pitch as well.
Here's the 0-2 pitch to Lankford, and it's way outside. Lankford hitting .469. Bonds will come in, dive, and make the catch. It did not look like Barry Bonds was going to get there. And he did.
Well, Lankford inside outs the ball, and he's got some movement that's really going towards Bond, but a spectacular play. And you just hope he doesn't hurt his wrist when he comes in to brace himself for the fall.
That was a beauty, and here's Gaetti. And he takes the pitch up and away. Another look.
Tell you, Kite, both of these teams have come ready to play today. Brilliant defensive play from Bonds in left field.
Swing and a miss by Gaetti. A ball and a strike. I bet Lankford thought when he hit that ball he had a hit.
He's thinking double base.
Gaetti pops it out of play, and it's 1-2. I don't know if you had a chance at all, Mike, yesterday to watch some of the Philly Brave game. Here's the 1-2 to Gaetti, and it's high with Maddox and Schilling. Unbelievable.
Classic matchup. Second time this season the two have hooked up. Schilling beat Maddox 2-1 in Atlanta earlier this season. And last night Schilling again prevails 1-0, although Maddox was not the losing pitcher. That game lasted 2 hours.
3 balls and 2 strikes, and just 2 guys that just do everything different. Little dribbler out in front of the plate, and it's Maine who calls off Estes and throws him out.
Got into a little bit of no man's land out there. Estes, you're taught as a pitcher to go until called off. He comes down hard. Watch the movement. He's coming down in thinking he's got to make the play, and he gets called off. Get out of the way so Maynard can make a throw. Good job from Brent Maine. Yeah, Schilling is a pitcher that utilizes a fastball about 95% of the time. Throws darts with it at 95 miles per hour. And then you have Maddox, who's Really just a master of mixing speeds and location. Two different styles, but both very effective.
Yeah, they both win. That's the common denominator.
They both win is right.
Outside to Ron Gant, 2-0.
Schilling really the glamour type pitcher because he's going to get about 10 punch outs each day. He got 10 yesterday. Just over 100 pitches though on a 9-inning stint.
Foul at home plate. 2 balls and 1 strike. Gant hitting .316, a home run, 2 RBIs. The Achilles heel for Gant is he's going to strike out a lot. Second in the National League last year with 162, 12 behind Sammy Sosa. Right back to Estes, who knocked it down. He's going to get to it and throw to JT, who made a nice play for the out, and Estes got banged pretty good. But he's not rubbing it or showing any signs. 0-0. Bottom of the second coming up.
Bay Area.
0-0. Bottom of the second inning. As Brent Mayne gets ready to stand in. Mayne batting .417. That works out to a 5 for 12. And he takes the first pitch low and in.
Maynard going with a low look in the pants today. Have been wearing the high leggings the last couple days.
Hit on the ground and into right field, a base hit. You throw that ball down to Brent Mayne and he's going to get some wood on it. Take a look at our Hoover pickup of the game. And it's Barry Bonds taking a hit away from Ray Langford. In the top of the second inning, Barry Bonds with a very nice play. Hoover, nobody does it like you. Here's Alex Diaz. Diaz 2 for 7 on the season. Diaz a switch hitter. Jumps out in front, 1 ball and no strikes.
You're talking about Brent Mayne's style of hitting, Kai. Very similar to the style you employed last few years of your career. So you know that he can cover that low area.
A low ball hitter. And this is smoked into left center field, but Langford glasses down, backpedals, and makes the catch. He has hit that ball pretty well for a little guy.
When you're really spread out and you're down like Mayne is it problematic to get to the high pitch?
Yeah, you really have to get to it by raising your arms, and you can't use your legs to go up to the high pitch because then your whole body moves.
And your head moves.
Yep. Here's Ray Sanchez, 9 for 18 on the season. How about that for a start?
That's the way you like to come into a new town. Get hot with the bat, make new friends fast.
But the 2 hottest hitters on the Giants play the same position.
Yep. Rich Aurelia off to a good start. Now, we talked about how healthy it is to have guys on the bench that really are capable of playing every day, and how the pressure is put on in a healthy way.
Sanchez, little looper. Clayton's got it. And now he loses it, but loses it trying to get the ball out of his glove. So the out recorded by Clayton. Clayton looked like he somehow extended that arm another 4 or 5 inches.
Oh, the athleticism of Royce Clayton. Never surprised by what he can do out in the shortstop position. Not many guys in the league make this play. And here's the guy that's kind of hung out. Do I go? Do I stay? Do I go? Do I get? And he gets back.
Yeah, Sean Estes steps in. Estes 1 for 2. And he takes the pitch high. Estes doubled in his first start in Houston.
Well, he's got something Morrow Hershiser does not have.
And that's a home run. You're right. Estes hits it past Ron Wotus, and our ball dude had no chance. Just got to learn to play the ricochet a little better. You can't go right to the wall and expect to catch the ricochet.
Oh, Dick, you could have had it. Got to get that glove down. He had the knees bent. The butt was down. He just couldn't get the hands down.
High to Estes, 2-1.
He got down one because he was bracing himself on the fence. See, that's cheating. He's mad.
I'll get him next time.
He knows we're ragging him right now.
Hit me another one. Estes hits it on the ground, but Gaetti has got it, and he'll go the short way to Howard to end the inning. Giants pick up a hit, strand one. We've played 2 here at 3Com. It is 0-0.
Well, there are still some prime seat locations being held for season ticket purchases, and the best way to go about getting those are through the 17 Best Game Plan. The Best Game Plan includes interleague games, the Dodgers, the Braves, Bat Day, Fireworks Night, and much, much more. The 17 Best Game Plan starts at only $85. Receive ticket holder benefits, including postseason rights. If you're interested, call 1-800-SF-GIANT right now.
Top of the 3rd inning, and it'll be the bottom 3 in the St. Louis Cardinals batting lineup. Howard, Lampkin, and Morris. Estes is not allowed to hit. He hasn't walked anybody, no strikeouts. Pitched pretty well. Jordan hit the ball well, so did Langford. Here's the pitch, a bunt down the third base line, a beauty. Miller will try it and then eat it. You cannot lay down a better bunt than that one.
No, you can't. He showed late, got it down the line to get it in fastball to open up the at-bat with. You want to jump ahead 0-1 in this part of the lineup. And Howard took advantage of that. I think the Giants are still finding out a lot about this guy's game. But, boy, that's, as you point out, Kipe, as good as you can execute the drag. And Miller does a smart thing. He doesn't get off a throw.
So here's Tom Lampkin hitting .343, 2 home runs, 10 RBIs. Lampkin just tore up the Rockies in the Cardinals sweep over Denver. Pitches up and away to Lampkin. That series against Colorado, Lampkin was 6 for 14 with 2 home runs, 8 RBIs.
Lampkin, good middle in hitter, very quick, likes the ball down. He's got some pop.
Chops it foul at the plate to even the count. Of course, when you play at Coors Field, you're going to get a lot of opportunities to bat with runners in scoring position. Lampkin did. He was 5 for 6 in that series. And oh, by the way, the Reds lead the Rockies 11-2 in the 4th inning.
Well, there's a panic button somewhere in Denver right now, and I think there's about 9 guys jumping for it.
Rockies have lost 6 in a row, and none of them, I don't believe, have been real close. Lampkin hits it foul past J.T. Snow. Our other ball dude takes his hat off. Look at that. He's showing off, huh?
Oh, he's showing off. So the two Dicks have a little something going here.
Yes, they do.
Both of our ball dudes. First name is Richard. Like to be called Dick. And this guy here, he just snagged it with his lid.
Estes waiting, and now he throws, and that just misses. It can look like he was trying to stick that elbow out and let it nick him a little bit.
Set up outside. This ball goes to the inside. But you're right, Kipe. As big as Estes' breaking ball is, Lampkin maybe had an idea. Take one like Craig Biggio does of the Houston Astros.
That's above us and out of play.
This is the first time in Lampkin's career he's really had an opportunity to play this many games at the start of the season. For Lampkin, who always has good springs, teams go north, and he's in that #2 spot as a catcher, backup catcher. I mean, the whole first month you don't really get a chance to play, and then in his words, he says you kind of scuffle the rest of the year to try and keep your game sharp.
Popped up down the right field line, a long run for Kent and Snow, and it's going to fall. Tough area for both those infielders. Really wouldn't hit that high either.
It just kept drifting towards the stands. Snow was not really comfortable under at any time. He kept looking for Kent, and then he slips and falls. Rubber spikes. Whoop.
Rubber turf. 2-2 to Lampkin. Now that one should reach the seats, and it does. When Mike and I were teammates, all the dirt surrounding the stadium was exactly that. It was dirt. Now it's that rubber material. You spent half the game shielding your eyes. You always were grateful when the grounds crew would water it before the game.
Well, it was put in simply to eliminate the dust that would blow into the stands, make the ballpark a little more fan-friendly.
Now a full count to Lampkin. Estes does not want to walk Lampkin. That would put Matt Morris in a spot where he could sacrifice runners into second and third. So this will be a spot for Sean Estes to challenge.
He's having a hard time locating that outside pitch to the left-handed hitters.
Swing and a miss. He got him. And it was a challenge from Estes.
Yeah, there was no Jimmy Jacket around there. That's just country hardball. Estes just reared back and blew one right by Lampkin. A good fastball hitter. He goes high and tight. Sit down. Another look. Boy, you get so geared up for a fastball. You get when you see it so well up there. It's just so hard to keep your hands on top of it.
Here's Matt Morris, who can hit a little bit. Last year hit over 200. He was 15 for 73. He had 6 RBIs. This will be his first at bat this year, but not showing signs of hitting, showing signs that he's going to bunt.
When you have a guy that can swing the bat a little bit, though, it's a situation where managers will at times give him an opportunity to take a shot, because it is a fastball situation. If a guy's going to bunt or it's a bunt situation, you're going to give him fastballs.
Good swing by Morris, and it's 1-1.
One thing you're trying to do out there, pitch into a bunt situation, is throw a strike with a fastball. So it's not a bad idea to show bunt, just simply to get to a point that you can get your hitter fastballs. La Russa knew this. Put the bunt sign on first pitch, and he's taken it off since.
Now the bunt is foul, and it's 1-2.
The easiest pitch to bunt is a curveball, because the break of the ball is going down. All you do is just put wood on it, and you got yourself a ball on the ground. The toughest pitch to bunt is a high fastball. Well, for a guy who can swing the bat a little bit like Morris, that belt high fastball is a nice pitch to hit.
Now Miller is thinking that Morris might bunt because he is still down the line at third.
He has to shook off the fastball. He wants a curve.
And it missed. 2-2. Well, a lot of the umpires here thought that might have been a strike.
There's about 25,000 here today. Well, Estes at times, his curveball will fool umpires. They'll give up on it. It's so big. The break on it is unusually large.
Inside, and now Estes has gone 3-2 to Matt Morris.
Well, Estes is doing the right thing right now. He's a little upset. Going to back off the mound, get himself a little bit composed. A lot riding on this 3-2 pitch. You don't want to let the number 9 hitter get on base by way of a walk. And this walk would do more than that. It would set up a run scoring position for the Cardinals with Howard at second.
Runner goes, and it's low, ball 4.
Well, every night at 10 o'clock, Fox Sports News brings a complete live wrap-up of the day in sports. Check out Fox Sports News on Fox Sports Bay Area tonight at 10.
So the walk to Matt Morris puts runners at first and second with 1 out. Bringing up Royce Clayton. Clayton grounded out to Sanchez to lead off the game. And Estes would take that same ground ball right here.
Although Royce is tough to double up, has good speed out of the box from the right side.
Off the plate with the curveball 1-0. Brian Jordan is on deck. Top of the third, 0-0. Estes peers in, gets the sign from Brent Maine. Ground ball back to Estes. Double clutches, he's got it. Sanchez dropped it, and everybody is safe. Now he can go back and he can tag Matt Morris, who didn't know he was called safe.
Oh my, what a break.
Matt Morris had no idea what was going on. He made the assumption that Sanchez has held on to the ball, and then Sanchez picked up the ball and tagged Morris. That is a break.
Well, it's tailor-made. A one-hopper, plenty of time. Throws a strike right to Sanchez, who cannot handle it. Now, as soon as Morris gets off the bag, Dusty Baker's all over it. Tag him. And right now, Sanchez doesn't see it. And he's here, tag him, and he goes back and gets him and knocks him down. Big out.
Here's Brian Jordan. Out of play down the right field line. Sanchez gets nailed with an error, which allowed Morris to reach second. And then, of course, he tagged him after he had reached second and wandered off.
This game will humble you.
Low and in.
But what a big play in this game. Now you got a 2-out first and third situation with an open base. You can afford yourself the luxury of corner pitch in Jordan. Otherwise, you'd had a bases loaded 1-out situation. So the mistake from Morris looms large in this game.
Curveball, a beauty.
And he knows he made a mistake, but nobody's going to come to this guy and get on him for his base running skills. He's got too much at stake for trying to keep his composure as a pitcher.
And Jordan fights off a high fastball, and it's 1-2. Mark McGwire is on deck. There's Big Mac. 1-2 to Brian Jordan. Estes with 1 strikeout. He struck out Lampkin for the first out this inning. Low. 2-2.
Well, one more look at the play at second base. Perfect feed. Not handled. And there goes Morris walking out the bag. Dusty's yelling, tag him, tag him. Whoa.
2-2 pitch. Swinging a chopper off Jordan's foot, and we'll do it again. Well, if you're Ray Sanchez, it felt like he had a pretty good break after a possible double play ball being dropped at second. However, you do get to 1 out. Curveball just stays alive as Jordan. Still 2-2.
Jordan fighting off some good pitches. That curveball on the outside corner just could get a piece of it. Estes is pitching for the strikeout. I think that's what he feels most comfortable with in going after a hitter. Let's take one more look at second base. Morris just assumed. An assumption is the mother of all screw-ups. And this one was costly.
Here's the 2-2 pitch, and it's up and away. A full count, and now Clayton will be on the move. At third base is Howard, and at first is Clayton. Crowd starts to get behind Sean Estes. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here it comes. Shot to left field, a base hit. A run will score, and the Cardinals take a 1-0 lead.
Well, what a great at bat from Brian Jordan. I mentioned the times he fought off nasty pitches to avoid the strikeout. Got him into a 3-2 count, fastball count, looked for it, got it, and delivered. Take a look at the quickness. Not much swing there in a 2-strike. He really shortens up. I think that's really been a lot of his growth in this league, is that he does make concessions now with 2 strikes. Takes a little swing off, puts the ball in play. He's the type of guy who has the speed to beat out a ground ball on the left side of the infield. That kind of speed and that kind of power make him rare.
McGuire popped out to JT Snow in the first inning, so Estes is going to have to be careful. And the curveball is in for a strike. Last year in this ballpark, McGuire hit home run number 50 off of Sean Estes.
No reason to give in here to McGuire with an open base and the left-handed hitting Langford on deck. Pitch him careful.
Inside is McGuire. Backs to get out of the way.
This is the hit zone that signifies the areas you got to stay away from. So you've got one spot according to this to hit.
Yeah, you better throw those darts down and away.
That's been the kind of groove he's in since the start of the season.
Popped up left field. Bonds with the glasses down, but Sanchez makes the catch. Ray Sanchez went a long way fighting the sun and the wind, and that retires the side. A run on 2 hits. The Giants committed error. 1-0 Cards. Here's Darrell Hamilton, bottom of the 3rd inning, as he takes a strike from Matt Morris. 1-0 Cardinals. And Morris flipped that one up there up high. 1 ball and 1 strike. On deck, Bill Miller, and then Barry Bonds. And that one he didn't flip at all. He just spun that one at the knees, 1-2. Hit on the ground. Howard at second base will make the play. And Sean Estes, between innings, not happy with himself.
Well, he walked the opposing pitcher, and he knew that was an out that he had to have, and that's where the anger was centered around.
You know, in order to really get it out of your system, as Miller hits a ground ball to Howard, takes a funny bounce, but he makes the play. You have to have something to throw that glove at. There's a nice big bucket there, I think, with gum and other various things.
Yeah, buckets are good targets.
0 for 8 against Morris. He reached on a fielder's choice in the first.
Morris has given a lot of guys offers. 17 lifetime innings against the Giants. He's only given up 1 run.
Bonds goes the other way. And a nice sweet stroke to left field. Gant dives to cut it off. Once he left his feet, it was going to be a double for Bonds.
Indeed, as soon as you're an outfielder and you show that runner the backside of your uniform, that's an extra base. They have speed. Bonds has. Breaking ball, just soft swing. And there's the dive. And there's the backside.
Here's Kent, who struck out in the first inning, and he takes it low. Kent was at the plate with runners at first and third and only one out, and was not happy with his at-bat.
He fights the aggressiveness that he has as a hitter, and sometimes that aggressiveness takes him out of the strike zone.
And he's got a base hit, and here comes Barry Bonds, and Kent ties the score with an RBI single.
And that's a right back at you. You give up one in the top of the third, you come right back, and the heart of the lineup ties the ball game up.
A double by Bonds, a single by Kent. That breaks an 0 for 14 for Jeff Kent.
Very tight, compact swing, gets a good pitch to hit, and that's the key. Morris left the ball up mid-thigh, inner half of the plate, and Kent gets his 12th RBI of the year.
JT Snow struck out in the first. He takes it low. On deck, Brent Mayne, 1-1 in the third. Hits the outside corner with a fastball. A ball and a strike. Talked about Snow's game yesterday, 3 for 4. Now he steps out. Snow started out the year 0 for his first 6 at-bats. But he has started to come on.
Snow had a great at-bat last night. Actually had 3 hits. His last at-bat was a double with a dead center that really jumped off his bat.
That's off the plate.
He was talking about that swing of the bat. He says, I'm just about where I want to be from the left side. JT hit one for me.
Two balls and 1 strike. Kent with his lead. And Snow goes the other way. Going back is Gant. Now he'll come in a couple of steps and make the catch. A little white shown in the glove of Ron Gant, but he hangs on. Giants tie it up. Kent with the RBI. We'll head to the 4th. Gaetti hits one high and a mile to left, and Bonds is going back, and it is gone. Gaetti jumps on the first pitch, and it's 2-1. His first home run of the year. Gary Gaetti now has 333 lifetime home runs. Not a bad career.
Well, let's watch the swing. First pitch fastball down at the knees, out over the plate. That lightning quick, no wasted motion in his swing from Gary Gaetti, and you can see the type of power he can generate from it. That ball was supercharged.
Ron Gant takes a strike. Gant hit a ball right back to Estes, who knocked it down and then recovered in time to throw him out. So he's 0 for 1. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Ron Gant, way inside. On deck is David Howard. Gant has more career RBIs against the Giants than any other team. And that one looked like it slipped out of the pitching hand of Sean Estes. 2-2.
That'll happen when you try and muscle up. You get to a 2-strike count. You think, I'm really going to snap off a good curveball, and you overthrow it and squirts out. have to kind of relax with that pitch. Make sure you get over the top of your front foot as you throw it.
Got him. Well, join us tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. Cardinals and Giants in Game 3 of this series, live from 3Com Park. Catch all the excitement as Oral Hershiser takes them on for the Giants against Mark McGwire and the rest of the St. Louis Cardinals. Thomas Howard. Howard had a bunt single in the third to lead things off, and he eventually scored on a Brian Jordan single, and this is a slow roller to J.T. Snow to Estes, side retired. So Gary Gaetti gives the Cardinals a 1-run lead with his first home run of the season. Home half of the fourth coming up 2-1 St. Louis. Back play of the game, October 10th, 1987. Game 4 of the National NCLS. Mike Krukow pitches a complete game, 4-2 win over the Cardinals that evens the series at 2 games apiece. Mike Krukow with the win. Vince Coleman, hang with him. Check it out. The final out. Hey! That looks familiar. That is our Discover card. Payback, playback. Play of the game, it pays to discover. I liked it. Was that Thompson to Uribe to Clark? Did you see that a few times?
Yes, I did. You know what was great about that? That was, I was fortunate enough to play 13 years at the big league level, and that was it. That was the highlight. That was as good as it ever got right there that night. 56,000 people who were on the same page as the guys in the field.
Brent Main's got a base hit to lead off the 4th inning. Yeah, he looked as young as Jared Krukow, who is the bat boy today for the Giants. I have a hard time calling him a bat boy. He is not a BOY anymore. He is a young man.
18. He was 8 years old back then. Second baseman now, staying away from the mound. But a good memory for both of us.
Well, he saw what it did to his father. Check swing by Diaz into the seats. That's not true. So Jared Krukow enjoying the afternoon in the dugout, doing some work for Mike Murphy. You better do a good job too.
But you don't get to come back. The helmet's a little too small. It's squeezing his head.
0-1 to Diaz. Inside.
That helmet fit him 10 years ago.
Well, you know, you could go and get him one that fits.
He's screwing it on. I'll have a headache for 4 days. He doesn't care.
A ball and a strike to Diaz. And Mora steps off the back. Rest of the troops are coming in tonight, huh?
Coming in tonight from San Luis Obispo. Celebrate Easter week together.
Outside corner to Diaz. One ball and 2 strikes. So Brent Main is 2 for 2.
Maynard's been swinging the bat well.
Yes, he has.
Since coming over to the National League. It's a low ball league, and he enjoys that.
He is staying with it. Breaking ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Alex Diaz, the 7th place hitter in Dusty Baker's lineup, swings and pops it to right field. Brian Jordan using his glove to shade his eyes, and he will make the catch.
Nothing will be easy in the air today. Routine fly ball, and I think everybody here in the ballpark, from a fan standpoint, senses that. The banner celebrating the 97 season, sitting on top of the flagpole in center field. It's finally getting a little movement. The last 3 nights, there really hasn't been much wind here at the ballpark.
Pretty quiet.
A good hitter's park.
Here's Ray Sanchez, and he takes a strike from Matt Morris. Sanchez, a little looper that Royce Clayton turned his back on and made a nice play in the second. Sean Estes is on deck. Sanchez pops it up. McGuire will give chase, but he will watch it go into the seats.
Tell you, for Matt Morris, who's making his first start today, he does not look sluggish at all. Stuff is very crisp, has good command of everything, especially the big curveball, which is not an easy pitch to command. He's used it well on both sides of the plate.
It's Dave Duncan. I'm sure that Morris is on some kind of pitch count. And Sanchez stays alive.
Should get upwards 75, 80 pitches. That would be about where I would expect him to leave the ball game. However, you know, he's not really beating himself up. Throwing a lot of fastballs. They might extend him out. Doesn't seem to be working too hard. Throws nice and easy for a big man. 6'5", native of New York.
Again on the hands of Sanchez, but he gets a piece of it. It's 12-4 Cincinnati over the Rockies in the 6th inning. Dodgers will host the Astros tonight. Oh, 2 to Ray Sanchez. And another swing and a foul. Sanchez does not want to take a pitch today.
No.
He's swinging at everything, even if it's right at his belt.
Impossible to walk him, or almost impossible to walk him.
Rich Aurelia, big part of the win last night for the Giants. A couple of hits and 3 at-bats. He scored a run, made a nice play in the hole to get a force at third.
I think Sanchez is taking his time, Kai, because his hands are ringing.
Yeah, you can't get a feel right now of about 8 fingers. 0-2 to Ray Sanchez. Base hit to left field. Matt Morris made a mistake of throwing a strike.
Well, that's exactly right. You throw it, I'll swing at it. That's the Ray Sanchez method of hitting. And so far this season, it has been a good philosophy. A high hanging breaking ball right out over the plate. And that is a bad 0-2 pitch. And he paid the price. That's really been the first time today that Morris has made that blatant error location-wise ahead in the count with 2 strikes. So now it sets up a bunt situation for Estes, who should try and get this ball on the third baseline.
So here's Sean Estes. Estes' job will be to get those runners over. And he lays down a good one. Morris falls down and throws, and it's not in time. Morris slipped.
Now Gaetti has to hold his ground because they want to try and get a play at third. They bring the pitcher over hard. It's Morris's responsibility to get to the ball, but his back leg gives away and just too much foot speed from Estes. But what a great bunt down the third base line, and the slip, and Morris cannot regroup and get his footing in time to get Estes. But watch Estes, who's a good athlete and runs extremely well for a pitcher, and he legs it out.
So the bases are loaded for Darrell Hamilton. Hamilton is walked and he's grounded out. And he takes it low. 1 ball and no strikes.
And this is where these two hitters, Hamilton and Miller, really make you work. They don't often go out of the strike zone. And for Morris, who's trying to nibble here and get ahead, get something on the ground with hard sinkers, a patient hitter is tough to get out in this situation.
Swinging a foul. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Make him bring the ball up. That's what Hamilton has to think. It's a fly ball situation for him. Stay off that low sinker down around the knees, because that's what's going to get a ground ball.
Maine, Sanchez, Estes. They're loaded, and now Hamilton will step out. Fastball away to make it 2-1.
1997 season, Hamilton averaged over 4 pitches per at bat. Bill Miller was right behind him. The kind of guys you like on top of your lineup. Set a lot of things up. He did it last night with an 8-pitch at bat in the 6th, where the Giants went on to take the lead 3-2.
To left field, right at Gant, who will make the catch. Tagging is Maine, and this game is tied.
Great baseball, great at bat. He got a pitch that was high, got it deep enough in the outfield to score the runner at third, and that's great situation playing.
So Hamilton with his 4th RBI of the year.
Looking for something up in the strike zone. He gets it at the belt. It's a good swing on it. Doesn't try to do too much. Let Morris supply the power. Ball in the outer half of the strike zone. Excellent job.
Here's Bill Miller. Miller singled in the 1st, grounded out in the 3rd. Sanchez at 2nd with Estes at 1st, and a 2-2 game. Two balls and no strikes.
I tell you, these two teams are very professional, and they are in their prime. They play baseball, and there's not a better example of situation baseball at its best than that last at bat.
A strike. 2-1. Morris to the plate, and that hits the outside corner. What a beauty of a pitch that was to make it 2-2.
Miller not offering to go after a pitcher's pitch. He too is trying to get something up. And boy, when you make pitches like this, 94 miles per hour on the black at the knees away.
Miller fights it off. Still 2-2.
Been very impressed with how Morris bows his neck with men on base in scoring position. He did it in the 1st with runners at 1st and 2nd, striking out Kent Snow to end the inning and threat.
Here's the 2-2 pitch to Bill Miller, and he hits a high fly ball to left field. Ron Gant is there, and he makes the one-handed catch to end the inning. Giants pick up a run to tie. We'll head to the 5th. Cards 2, Giants 2. Giants baseball is brought to you in part by Southwest Airlines. With fares so low, you have the freedom to go places. Fly Southwest. We'd like to extend birthday greetings to Andy McGuire, who is the engineer in charge of our broadcast today. Andy does a great job. Andy turns, I don't know, what do you think, Mikey?
62.
62 today. So Andy, a couple of years from retirement. Congratulations, Andy. We're happy you've made it this far.
He looks a lot younger since he started dyeing his hair.
Well, that's why he's got a hat on. You take that hat off, nothing there. Andy McGuire. Happy birthday. Well, for the Cardinals, it'll be Tom Lampkin, Matt Morris, and Royce Clayton in a 2-2 tie.
Here's an opportunity for Estes to get his team back in that dugout quickly. He's got the bottom half of the lineup coming up. Bottom two hitters, Lampkin, pitcher Morris. Get a quick 1-2-3, throw a 0 up and get his team back in to score. You got Bonds leading off the 5th. That's what Estes is thinking right now.
Well, he missed with one and came in with another, and it's a ball and a strike.
Cards only have 3 hits off of Estes today. Morris has given up 7 to the Giants.
Here's the 1-1 delivery, and Lampkin fouls this one right above Rick Bertuse, our high home camera operator. Well, but you get a nice view from that ride today. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Lampkin thought about it, held up. As Brent Mayne went scurrying, it's 2-2. We'll have the ball game for you tomorrow. 1:05. We'll be on the air at 1 o'clock. Or head on out to the ballpark.
Easter Sunday tomorrow. Great way to spend Easter Sunday with a family. Bring them out to the yard. Should be a good matchup tomorrow as well. Oral Hershiser will be on the mound for the Giants, pitching against right-hander Cliff Polite.
Here's the 2-2 pitch in the dirt, and now Estes will have to face Lampkin in a full count.
Estes led the National League in walks allowed last year, 100.
Just foul. Paul Schreiber with the call.
Watch the movement from JT Snow. Not a whole lot you can do. Just hope it goes foul. Giants gets a break there. That had 2 bases written all over it. Lampkin runs extremely well for a catcher.
Here's the payoff pitch. He walked him. Well, that'll make it easy for Matt Morris and his responsibilities.
Bunt situation immediately. Mentioned has to Lampkin the above average running abilities for a catcher. Sort of takes away the aggressiveness. If you know you have good speed at first base, the bunt gets down, you're almost limited to getting the only out, and that being the one at first.
There's the bunt. Brent Mayne will barehanded and throw to Kent. And on to second goes Lampkin. 2-4 on the bunt.
Good execution from the Cardinals. Sacrifice cannot be made any better. And I always thought as a pitcher, you can help your team's momentum in an inning if you get that bunt down the first pitch. Your responsibility, simply get the runner over. Do it on the first pitch. Get back to the dugout. Let your team go to hacking and trying to knock that guy in.
Yeah, don't mess around. Just get it done. Clayton is 0 for 2. He reached on a fielder's choice in the 3rd. As he watches this curveball go by, and it's a strike.
Clayton's going to sit on fastball until he has to swing. Good high ball hitter. Likes to extend out. Good middle away hitter. Got to jam him. Got to curveball him.
Same spot, 0-2.
I really believe that Estes has a better feel for the strike zone with that curveball against right-handed hitters.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Had problems last year throwing it to lefties at times, leaving a lot of curveballs high.
Oh, and 2 to Clayton.
Going outside with a fastball.
Right back to Estes. And now they've got Lampkin in a rundown. Miller's throw hits Lampkin right in the back. So Royce Clayton is aboard. It'll be a fielder's choice, error 5. And I think more than anything, what you'd like to have Estes do is maybe run at that runner a little longer.
Yeah, I think he committed himself to a throw very quickly. Lampkin, it was a very difficult play for Miller. He didn't have much time to get rid of the ball. And you're right, Kipe. What Estes should have done is run it right at the runner, freeze him in between the first or second and third, make him commit, and then hopefully get him out with one throw.
Here's Brian Jordan swinging a foul back. It makes it an easier play for the infielder that you end up giving the first throw to. So now runners will be at first and second. It's the second error committed by the Giants. Sanchez had one in the third. Bonds got it just high. 2 outs. Jordan hit it well. And that'll bring up McGuire. Now McGuire has popped out twice. One to Snow and one to Sanchez in foul territory.
Estes back against the wall. He should have been out of the inning, and now he's got to face McGuire with 2 outs and 2 on.
Big curveball misses 1-0. McGuire looking for RBI number 1,000 in his career. And he had a mighty cut, and he fouls it back.
Well, you could just see the bat speed and how strong he is. The guy really is compact with his approach to the kill zone. Not any wasted swing whatsoever. And just so quick, so strong, and so powerful. Bat stays in the strikes a long time.
1-2.
Said last night the broadcast that McGuire used to have a loop in his swing, and that's nothing more than an uppercut. But he has flattened his swing out, allowing his bat to stay in the strike zone a lot longer. And the difference is reflective in his batting average.
Now this is a good matchup. Estes, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Mark McGuire. Hit on the ground. Miller backhands it. He'll go to the bag, and Estes gets out of it here in the 5th inning. No runs, no hits. Giants commit an error. Bottom of the 5th coming up in a 2-2 tie. Plan now to avoid those game day lines. It's called the Giants 6-pack. 6-pack start at only $25. 6 different packs to choose from. The number to call, 1-800-SF-GIANT. Do it now. Ticket representatives are standing by. Here's Barry Bonds, and he drives one past McGuire down the right field line. Jordan will have to dig it out. Bonds is going to put on the brakes with a leadoff double on the first pitch.
And that's the Barry Bonds swing, the quickness on the inner half of the plate that Giant fans remember. He was all over the 94-mile-an-hour fastball from Morris. Right in and right back out. That ball left his bat, and the sound was loud.
Bonds had doubled in the 3rd. Here's Kent, who knocked him in with a single in the 3rd. He also has struck out. He's 1 for 2. Cardinals 2, Giants 2. Up and in with something slow, and it's 1-0. It's not the area where you want to make a mistake with a changeup or a curveball. 1 ball and no strikes. And that falls in for a strike to even the count.
81 pitches on the afternoon for Morris. Curveball coming in, stealing a strike. ahead 1-0 on the count, you look at fastball.
Kent hits it to right field. Jordan giving chase near the line will make the catch. Bonds tags, and he will make it as Clayton cuts it off.
Good aggressive base running for Bonds, realizing at that part of the ballpark would give him an opportunity to take 90 feet. That sets a 1-out man on third base situation up. So really a productive out from Kent. Watching Jordan come over. Spins around, sets himself up to the infield. Berry back to the bag in time. Makes it easily. Now the Cardinals are going to bring their infield in.
And that's what they're doing, and JT Snow stands in. He's 0 for 2. Inside corner for a strike, 0-1. 5th inning in a tie game. Morris at the belt. And that misses. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Cardinals set their middle infielders at medium depth, and as Morris starts his windup towards home, both Howard and Royce Clayton creep in, and everybody has, I think it's from a hitter standpoint, it can be a bit of a distraction to see everybody creeping in on you.
In the dirt, Lampkin blocked it. Bonds thought about it and goes back.
Oh, nice job from Lampkin to smother that curveball in the dirt. Watch the work behind the plate from Tom Lampkin. Go around, you put your palm facing that pitcher. There's no backhand there. Keep that glove like that, you'll keep the ball in front of you. Good lateral movement from the Cardinal catcher.
2-1 to Snow. Infielders now come in again. JT line drive right at McGuire.
Boy, that was a rocket. Snow never got out of the batter's box.
And here comes Brent Mayne, who's 2 for 2.
Now watch the shot off the bat, normal speed. Half step out of the box. Frustrating at bat. You do everything right and get nothing for it with the Gazette.
Brent Mayne, a pair of singles. Grounder foul. Carlos Alfonso will make the play. Carlos, a future ball dude. We all want to be future ball dudes.
That's right. Well, Carlos has done just about everything else. He's been a pitching coach. He's been a roving instructor, a player personnel guy in the minor leagues.
He's worked with some production people at A2 in the Phoenix area in the wintertime. Pitches up and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Brent Mayne doing the catching. Brian Johnson with the afternoon off. 1 ball and 1 strike. 2-1.
Really a very unorthodox swing as he loads his back leg and really hits out of a crouch. As you point out, Kai, this makes you really see the ball well in the lower part of the zone.
Down and in, 3-1. Alex Diaz is on deck. Here's Sean Estes. The 3-1 to Maine. He walked him. Not sure he's that unhappy about walking Maine.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the San Francisco Giants and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the Giants.
There's Bill Miller talking to Sean Estes, and Dave Duncan is going to come out and talk to Matt Morris. The Yankees defeated the A's this afternoon at Yankee Stadium 3-1. Cleveland a win, ups its record to 8-1. They beat Anaheim. Oral Hershiser will get the start tomorrow.
A couple old starting pitches hanging together on the bench. Mark Gardner on your right, Hershiser on your left.
That's right. Check out the Giants magazine, and on the cover, Mr. Hershiser. Talking to Oral, his family's going to live in the city.
Well, he says that he's going to wind up, when he's out of baseball, living in California, either in San Francisco or in Monterey. Loves it here. Always has.
Alex Diaz has hit the ball in the air twice, and he's 0 for 2. And he takes one right down the heart of the plate. No balls and 1 strike. Diaz's only RBI of the season came on opening day in Houston, where he knocked in the winning run. And he now falls behind 0-2. So whatever Dave Duncan told Matt Morris, it worked.
I think the inning was running long, and I think they were just going to go out and give him a little bit of a breather. Remember his first start of the year, coming off the DL with a sore shoulder.
Runner goes, swing and a miss, and Diaz strikes out to end the inning. No runs, a hit. The Giants strand a pair. Will go to the 6th inning. Cardinals 2, Giants 2.
And that was nasty.
Kent Bottenfield is in the bullpen getting loose. Here's Gaetti, who homered off Estes in the 4th. Did he go around? Yes, says Charlie Relaford. 0-1. I always think that now this is going to be Gaetti's last year, and then he plays 3 more. He goes around again, and it's 0-2. This was the home run by Gaetti.
Fastball down right where they wanted it. See, he would have hit Maine's target, but Gaetti's been doing that for over 16 years at the major league level.
And Estes just missed with the breaking ball. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Gaetti, and he pops it back and out of play. Ron Gant is on deck. 1-2 to Gary Gaetti.
Flapless helmet from Gaetti. Not many of those guys left.
2-2. You know, that simply means that you've played for a long time. Grandfather's clause, when they made it a rule you had to wear an ear flap, the guys still playing did not have to do that. Hit on the ground. Miller's got it. Gets up quickly. Throws in time. Bill Miller to his left with a great play.
By Miller, extremely quick. His first couple of steps to the ball are as good as anybody's in the game, and he shows it here, and he just robs Gaetti of a base hit. Snags the ball quickly to his feet, and he shoots him down with lots of room to spare. And for Estes, his roomie, he picks him up again. How about that? Bill Miller put on a show for the folks back home in St. Louis.
Gant takes a strike. There's young Billy Miller.
A big old kitty cat over there at third base.
Up and in. The old and the new, Miller and Gaetti. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
Boy, Estes just reaching back right now. He just blew that fastball right by Gant across the letters, and that is not easy to do. That's strength to strength.
Here's the 1-2 pitch, and this is slammed to right field, but Alex Diaz is going to be there and make the catch. A 1-2 inning for Sean Estes, the first since the 2nd inning. Home half coming up. Cards 2, Giants 2.
Well, we're heading into the bottom half of the 6th inning here. 3-com 2-2 tie, and it's time now for Whatever It Takes, brought to you by Grand Auto Supply. And our Whatever It Takes today comes off the glove of Bill Miller, who really just displays brilliant defense for his roommate Sean Estes. He robs Gaetti of a base hit, and that is our Grand Auto Supply, Whatever It Takes. You get dirty, good. You're playing his game. Well, he's gaining a lot of respect around the National League by the way he plays that third sack, and that was another gem.
Willie McGee is now in left field on a double switch. McGee in left. Bottenfield is the new pitcher. Kent Bottenfield in the order in the lineup. Bottenfield will hit 6th, and Willie McGee will hit 9th. There's Bottenfield's number. How about this? 9 strikeouts in 6 innings. Bottenfield is doing something right.
He's always had good stuff. Todd Stottlemyre, last night's pitcher. He's a spectator today.
You know, Bottenfield's first hitter will be Ray Sanchez. Sean Estes will be the second, and then the top of the batting order, and Darrell Hamilton. A strike to Sanchez, and it's 0-1.
A good outing today for the Cardinals. Matt Morris goes 6 right out of the chute. 6 quality, gave up 8 hits, a couple runs.
He's the real deal. High to Sanchez. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Bottenfield throws a lot of ground balls, has a little sink to his fastball. Slider.
Sanchez hits it into the seats. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bottenfield has 2 saves on the year. Remember, Jeff Brantley started out on the disabled list. The closer for the Cardinals. Bottenfield started out with Montreal. A shot over the glove of Royce Clayton. And Sanchez is stinging the ball. His second hit.
Sanchez got a 91-mile-an-hour fastball. And getting around home plate. If it doesn't bounce, it's a candidate. Really not a bad pitch location-wise. Good jumping ability from Clayton.
Here's Estes, who on a sacrifice bunt in the 4th inning bunted it down the third baseline. Matt Morris slipped in trying to field it and throw it, and Estes beat it out, and he's going to try to lay down another one. Bunts it foul off the end of the bat.
Pretty aggressive defense put on. Boy, Mark McGwire really came off the bag. In fact, Bottenfield waited until McGwire broke from first. They are going for the out at second. And here comes McGwire. Now they start the move home, and Gaetti and McGwire are right down on top of Estes. A good bunter. Right now, Estes is going to go down and talk to Ron Motos a little bit, and they're going to talk about the defense that they just saw. Quickest way to put an end to that is set up early and take a shot at it at the Butcher Boy play, where you go into a swing and slash down. If you can put it in play, excellent chance of getting a hit. Dusty Baker has that type of confidence in Estes. He can handle the bat.
Tony La Russa giving the signs to Tom Lampkin. And Bottenfield steps off. Estes was showing bunt. If he is going to bunt, Estes is certainly not trying to hide it from anyone.
Well, you should show early. That will freeze the infielders a little bit.
There's the bunt. A good one. Bottenfield will throw, and it's Howard who makes the catch at first. So the Giants left-hander has done a good job.
That's how you beat the defense. You bunt it perfectly, and this is exactly what he does. Bunt off the end of the bat, deadens the ball, and the only guy who has a play is Bottenfield. Just get out, bend the knees, just let the ball come out and play catch off the end of the bat. Outstanding job, and you really help yourself out if you can handle the bat in a bunt situation.
Darryl Hamilton had a sacrifice fly in the 4th inning. That tied the game. And he takes it low and away, 1-0. Bottenfield, as we mentioned earlier, is traveled all over the place. He actually pitched in 1 game for the Giants in 1994. Hamilton, it's a high fly ball into left center field, where Langford will make the play. 2 outs. Bringing to the plate Bill Miller. There's Estes.
Get back to the bench and start thinking about next inning. For next inning, he's thinking about Howard, Lampkin, McGee. Don't ever allow yourself the luxury of mentally relaxing during the course of a game if you're a starting pitcher. When you do, you lose your edge.
Bill Miller is 1 for 3. Bottom of the 6th inning.
Miller 2 for 3 lifetime against Bottenfield with a couple of singles.
Low and in, and another nice play by Lampkin.
Lampkin's done a good job today blocking balls for the Cardinals.
One ball and no strikes. Off the plate, 2-0. Bonds is on deck, so Miller has to figure that in this at bat he should get at least 1 good pitch to hit. They do not want to face Bonds in the 6th. Swing and a foul back, 2-1.
There was a good pitch right there. Worked to count your favorite 2-0. Looked fastball. He got it right at the belt. Fouled it back.
The Giants are in first place according to those flags. Miller pops it out of play. However, that is not the case. San Diego comes in the National League West with an 8-2 record. They've won 5 straight.
They've had 3 miracles in the first 10 games of the season.
Yes, they have. Finley with a grand slam last night in the 9th inning with 2 outs to win. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Miller, and it's low, a full count. And Bonds is on deck. So Bottenfield facing Bill Miller with the lead run at second base and Ray Sanchez. Here it comes. Swing and a miss, and Miller strikes out to end the inning. Giants will strand 1. They've stranded 9 in the game. 7th inning coming up. Cardinals 2, Giants 2. Dwayne Kuiper and Mike Krukow coming at you with a score 2-2 as we head to the 7th inning. Sean Estes facing the bottom 3 in Tony La Russa's order. And this is David Howard, and he takes a strike. Now the bottom 3 usually means that the pitcher is hitting 3rd. That's not true. Willie McGee came in the double switch. He's in the 9th slot. Estes throws it low. Howard with a bunt single in the third. He hit a ground ball to J.T. Snow in the fourth. He's 1 for 2. Swings over top of a breaking ball, or may have gotten a piece of it. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Lance Painter in the bullpen, a left-hander for the Cardinals. Estes with 3 strikeouts and a shot to right field and a base hit for David Howard.
Howard's been impressive in this series. Second day in a row he's had 2 hits.
Now Howard played with the Kansas City Royals. Young man played a bunch of positions for Kansas City last year. Second, short, third, and all the outfield positions.
His old man used to play in the big leagues for the White Sox.
Lampkin shortens the bunt, takes the pitch outside.
Bruce Howard played for the White Sox 63 through 67. Then he played a little bit with the Orioles and the Senators. So David Howard, well educated, and it shows. He's got a nice game.
He's the runner at first. You saw Rene Latchman going through the signs. Van Estes to the plate, and Lampkin bunts it foul.
Well, that's the chain of command. La Russa gives a sign to Latchman, and Latchman in turn gives a sign to the hitter. Dave McKay, the first base coach, he'll pick up the sign and relay it to the runner. Everybody's on the same page. Cannot assume that Lampkin will bunt again if you're on the mound. Good idea to throw over to first base just to see if Lampkin will tip his hand. That was called by the bench. Dusty Baker employing an old Roger Craig trick. We're not worthy. Tony La Russa, what a career he's had. 20 years as a big league manager. His counterpart, Dusty Baker, playing a little chess right now against each other.
1-1 to Lampkin. Shows bunt, and it looked like he might have been thinking about pulling that bat back.
You know, from Lampkin's part, I mean, he can sit there and he can show bunt when the guy throws over and set him up too.
Absolutely.
Try and milk him into a fastball situation, thinking that Estes sees me try and bunt or pull it back, he'll give me a fastball. So a lot of cat and mouse going on here with everybody involved.
There's the bunt. Estes gets to it quickly, and he'll spin around and throw to Kent. And moving the second is David Howard. We've seen some major leaguers do a nice job of sacrifice bunting this afternoon.
Been a good baseball game. Both teams executing extremely well. Sacrifice situations, both with the bunt and the sac fly.
Willie McGee, as you take a look at both skippers. McGee in his 16th year. Switch hitter batting right-handed, swings and misses, and it's 0-1.
McGee is dangerous down low in the strike zone, especially against big curveballs, and he can look bad at one swing and come back and beat you with it again. Got to be careful, but he will chase a ball down the dirt.
McGee is 3 for 5 batting right-handed, and it's a foul out of play, and it's 0-2.
Steve Baker in the paper today said he'd like to have Willie McGee in the Giants organization when McGee retires as a coach or whatever capacity he would like to have. Well, Walt Jocketty, the general manager of the Cardinals, saw that, and he said, hey, he's not leaving the Cardinal organization. He was on his way in to talk to Dusty about it. I tell you, Willie McGee can have a job anywhere he wants in baseball. He is that special a guy.
Here's the 0-2 pitch, and McGee hits a base hit to right field. A late break for Howard, so he's going to be held.
A nice at bat, hitting it out of an 0-2 hole. Gears himself to right field, finds the hole. The line drive, though, you've got to freeze if you're the runner, and David Howard did so, as you're taught to do, and that preserves the run. Estes is going to have to pitch the strikeout now, Kite.
Yep, Royce Clayton is 0 for 3. Dusty Baker is going to come out. There isn't been anybody throwing in the Giants bullpen.
Well, it's going to take a few throws a day. It's a cold afternoon. It's going to take at least 15 throws for Steve Reed, who's coming out of the pen now. But I think right now Dusty Baker wants to focus his pitcher. Ask as to how he's going to go about getting Royce Clayton out. Better bet to go for the strikeout here, because there's just way too much speed in the pass to try and assume you could get a double play even with a hard hit ground ball. Both McGee and Clayton run well. Clayton way above average.
Reed and Rodriguez are in the bullpen. 110 pitches thrown by Sean Estes.
Looks to me, Kipe, like they're going to bring the corner infielders in, Snow and Miller, and leave the middle infielders at double play depth.
Clayton has hit the ball on the ground 3 times. Low. 1 ball and no strikes. Royce Clayton, 3 RBIs on the season, batting .325. Howard is at third, and at first is Willie McGee. Low again. 2 balls and no strike.
Nice dig out from Maine. They set up outside with a fastball, and Estes pulled the fastball across the plate in the inside location. Ball got down there and skinned a bit. Nice stop. Watch the footwork. They want the outside target. Ball goes inside. Short 1 hop, and Maine stops the run.
Two balls and no strikes. Estes tried to nip the outside corner and missed, and Clayton started after it and held up. It's 3-0.
Estes has nibbled all 3 times. I would imagine that Clayton has the opportunity here. He'll go after it. If he sees a pitch he likes, he'll have the green light.
He walked him. Now the bases are loaded for Brian Jordan. That walk is the 3rd that Estes has allowed, and Dusty Baker is going to come out and get him. And he is going to go for Steve Reed. So we'll be back as Steve Reed comes in. Sean Estes departs. Bases are loaded in the 7th in a 2-2 tie.
Giants baseball on Fox Sports Bay Area is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. With fares so low, you have the freedom to go places. By Discover Card, it pays to discover. By Hoover, nobody gets the dirt like Hoover, nobody. By Kragen, for fast, friendly service, there's only one place to shop in Northern California for auto parts. That's Kragen Auto Parts. And by TCI.
So the afternoon complete for Sean Estes.
Well, the pitch count got him. You get into the 7th inning and you get up above 100 pitches where he was. not really afforded the luxury to work through a long inning. Couple that with the history that Reed has against Brian Jordan. Jordan 2 for 10, a couple of singles, made it an easy decision for Dusty Baker to go out and get Sean Estes.
Well, how about that Steve Reed this year? In 5 games, he's pitched 6 innings. And he's got a no-hitter going.
Has been outstanding and really enjoys that Giants uniform, clubhouse. If you're a veteran player, the Giants clubhouse is a great place to be.
So they're loaded for Brian Jordan. And the first pitch hit him. The first pitch hits Brian Jordan. And they stay loaded. Well, that's a little unusual.
They pitch an inside corner trying to get ahead, looking for a ground ball, and the ball just takes off. And Jordan cannot get out of the way. The last thing that Reed had on his mind was hitting the hitter Brian Jordan.
Here's McGuire. Swing and a miss on the Frisbee breaking ball, and it's 0-1.
McGuire has only seen Steve Reed once. He struck out.
10 career grand slams. McGee, Clayton, and Jordan. Way outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. 3-2 Cardinals are leading. Reed at the belt, then he throws, and that tails inside, 2-1.
They'd like to get into a 2-strike situation where he could throw a Frisbee at him.
Outside, 3 balls and 1 strike. Well, now advantage is to McGuire.
No question. He's going to get a pitch to hit here.
Here it comes. He walked it.
Agonizing for Sean Estes. Not anything you can do about it. No way to defend against a hit batsman or a walk.
So here comes Dusty Baker. He's going to ask for Rich Rodriguez. Reed comes in. He hits Jordan. And he walks McGuire, and that is RBI number 1,000 for Mark McGuire. So here comes Rodriguez. Cardinals have scored twice. It's 4-2 St. Louis. Behind to the Giants. The Cardinals have scored twice. A couple of hits, a couple of walks. Jordan hit by a pitch. And they find themselves now trailing 4-2 as Rich Rodriguez comes into Langford. As we mentioned earlier, 1,000 RBIs for Mark McGuire.
Well, not really a glamorous way. He walked, and he's got credit for the RBI by way of the base on balls. But he'll take it.
Is 0 for 3. And the pitch is low. Langford lined out to left. Bonds made a great play. Grounded to short where Sanchez made a nice play, but his throw was high, and J.T. Snow tagged Langford going by, and then he struck out looking in the 6th inning. The pitch is high. 2 balls and no strike.
Now the crowd's starting to squirm a little bit here. They want to at least see the defense get a chance to defend. And it gets frustrating when the free passes come by way of a hit batsman and a walk.
And a strike to Ray Langford. 2-1. Very important that Rich Rodriguez, the Giants defense, understand that this is just a 2-run lead by the Cardinals, although you feel down that you've given up a couple of runs. That's hit high into left center field. Hamilton will give chase, and he will make the catch on the track. Tagging and scoring is Clayton. Going over to third is Jordan, and Langford has a sacrifice fly.
Well, we've seen some great situational baseball today, and on the part of the bunt sacrifices, and this is the second time in the game, a nice job from Langford to get the sac fly. That's a big run.
And that'll bring up Gaetti. Gaetti will be the 8th Cardinal to hit here in the 7th. Gaetti homered in the 4th inning. 5-2 St. Louis.
All 5 of those runs charged to Sean Estes.
Gaetti with a ground ball, slow roller. Sanchez will glove it and throw, and they get Gaetti to end the inning. 3 runs on 2 hits. The Cardinals strand a pair. 5-2 St. Louis. Please and talk to fans at some of the great new ballparks, whether Coors Field in Denver or the ballpark in Arlington. Our most recent experience at the Bank One ballpark in Phoenix, people have been very enthusiastic about the club level experience. Very unique. It seems to be the place where people have wanted to get access to, and it's clear that it is going to be one of the premier options for our fans at Pac Bell Park. The number to call, 1-800-5-GIANTS, as you take a good look at Coors Field and then the Bank One ballpark. It is the level that you want to be on, and of course it'll all happen on opening day. Charter seats, Pacific Bell Park. The number to call, 1-800-5-GIANTS. And time flies, let me tell you.
Just 75 days till the it's 715 days until the opening of Pacific Bell Park.
Lance Painter facing Barry Bonds, 7th inning, and a 5-2 Cardinal lead. And Bonds takes it outside. Now Barry Bonds has doubled twice in 3 at bats. Painter has been in 6 games, 3 innings, 3 hits. And Bonds hits one to center field, but Ray Langford barely has to move. 1 out.
The only left-hander in the Cardinal bullpen is Lance Painter.
Well, that'll bring up Jeff Kent, who is 1 for 3. Kent knocked in a run in the 3rd inning, his 12th RBI of the season. And Painter throws, and Kent takes it high. Lance Painter at the belt, and the pitch, a swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Boy, way ahead in the count, 1-0. Not really a good pitch for him to go after. Little backdoor breaking ball, low away. Not a good hitting pitch. I guess the thing that you fight when you're as aggressive as Kent, we talked about earlier, staying in that strike zone. He had a bat last night, Merson scoring position. He went down on 3 pitches, and 2 of the pitches were way out of the strike zone. He was particularly frustrated about that at bat.
And Kent takes a strike, and it's 2-2. Lance Painter spent 4 years with the Colorado Rockies. And Kent whistles one into the seats. Heads up.
Look out. But he's all right.
It didn't bother that guy from just going after those nachos.
Just don't mess with my nachos.
Here, take the ball. I'm going to gnaw on these nachos for a while. 2-2 to Kent. Rolls it foul. Stumbling, bumbling, and then onto the field, which is usually not going to work. If you do that, you try to become invisible, don't you?
George Steinbrenner, isn't it?
Is George taking in the game?
I think so.
Outside, 3-2 to Kent.
Let's watch the play. Keep your eye on the guy in the hat. But it was worth it. He never lost his hat.
It's glued on. Kent swings and misses for the second out.
Here he comes. Another look.
All right. Now, just relax. I don't know. I hurt myself.
Needs an ice bag.
That was great fun.
Talking about that for a while. Something tells me he will have the tape of this show.
Well, we should say some nice things. Boy, did you see the play that guy made?
Yeah, what an effort.
Whoa.
Looks like George Steinbrenner.
Yeah. I'll show you how to do that, kid, someday.
Another kid saying, Dad, you embarrass me.
Yeah, you flopped right out of the stands like a fish out of water. But you got the ball, and thank you very much. JT fouls it out of play. Now, JT Snow hitting right-handed is 4 for 16. Inside corner, strike 3 call, and Snow knew it. So Lance Painter, very impressive with 2 strikeouts. 8th inning is coming up. It's the Cardinals 5 and the Giants 2.
Gwynn and the rest of his San Diego Padres come to town for a 2-game series beginning on Tuesday night. Tuesday night, the game starts at 7:05, and then again on Wednesday, the game will start at night, only at 7:35. It is also 3-com screensaver plus night for the first 15,000 fans. Stop by any Giants dugout store, Bass Ticket Center location, or call 510-762-BALL to order your tickets by phone.
Well, I think our guy's taking off. He said, I don't know, my neck is bothering me.
I gotta get an ice bag. Ice bag.
Oh, that's great. You're right. His hat never left.
Never left his head. And that kid right there has got 2 balls. Now, this is the play we're talking about. Now watch the anticipation. He's up. Hang on to that hat. Yeah. Whoa. He flops back into the boat.
I don't know where he hurt himself. Going out or going back in. Oh, it's killing me. So Rich Rodriguez will be facing a pinch hitter who I've totally just lost all control of the game here.
Brian Hunter.
All right, Brian Hunter comes in.
Hunter came into camp this year as a non-roster player.
Popped him up. Billy Miller. This will be a tough play. He's wrestling with it, and he makes the catch.
Boy, he starts off slow, he identifies, and all of a sudden the wind gets it. He has to accelerate into it. Whew. Watch him, he works. The glasses go down to find it. Comes in. He takes him off to see the ball again. Nice play.
Whatever it takes under those conditions. Here's David Howard.
You know, that's one thing about this ballpark that sort of unites this current player with the players of previous generations. From Davenport to Miller, they've all wrestled with the wins here, and they can sympathize with one another.
They've also experienced the wins winning a few times too.
No question. And this right here, right field at 3Com, toughest in the major leagues.
They had to have a reunion for all right fielders that wore a Giants uniform. They're all gray, I guarantee it. Howard has hurt the Giants. He's had a couple of innings where he's led off with base hits and eventually scored. Rodriguez to the plate, and it's low. 3 balls and 1 strike.
Rodriguez beginning to feel a little left out down that Giants bullpen. It's only his 2nd appearance of the year. Last appearance, a 3rd of an inning in Houston.
3 balls and 1 strike. That's a strike at the knees.
The thing that you have to remind yourself when you're a player, a veteran player like Rich Rodriguez, is that you have to stay sharp. If you're not getting a lot of work between the lines, you've got to make up for it on the sidelines.
In the seats.
Because nobody wants to hear you make excuses about, I haven't had any work. And the skipper knows that. Pitching coach knows that. But a lot of times the game just does not present an opportunity for you to get in there. But you've got to take it upon yourself to stay sharp. Very difficult thing early on in the season to be a guy in the bullpen that's not getting any work. You can go 2 or 3 weeks without getting much work, and then all of a sudden, boom. When you come into a game situation, you're expected to do well. And it's an art to staying sharp without getting out there between the lines.
JT Snow gloves it and will flip to Rodriguez. 2 away here in the 8th inning. Bringing up Tom Lampkin.
Frank Robinson used to say it and say it a lot. There is no excuse for failure. You go out there thinking that you are not going to succeed and you're giving yourself an excuse to fail because you haven't had work or your arm is tender. Hey, they don't want to hear about it. It's up to you to eliminate those excuses for failure and be ready to go.
Here's Lampkin. 0 for 1. He's walked and he had a sacrifice bunt. Low and away from Rich Rodriguez. Giants will have 6 more outs as they trail 5-2. Dusty Baker, his team coming in with a record of 6-4, and it's low to Lampkin. 2-2 on the homestand. Tom Lampkin waiting on Rich Rodriguez, and he hits it foul past Dave McKay. Brian Johnson down in the bullpen actually stole that one away from the ball dude. There's a chance that Brian Johnson could be used as a pinch hitter, so he works his way down to the Giants dugout. It's 2-1 to Tom Lampkin with 2 outs here in the 8th. Three and 1 the count to Lampkin.
Left side of the infield is playing a slight pull.
And he walked him. I think every once in a while you watch a game or you read about a game where the game isn't over until the last man is out. And we were reminded of that yesterday in a game between the Red Sox and the Mariners. The Red Sox scored 7 runs in the 9th inning. Pitch to McGee is a strike. Randy Johnson was facing him, was breezing along, and they took Johnson out after 8 after striking out 15. And the Mariner bullpen could not hold him. Didn't get an out in the 9th. Not one out. McGee's got a base hit to left field. He's 2 for 2.
Well, the only reason Johnson left the ballgame because he struck out 15, threw over 130 pitches. So the bullpen gets a 5-run lead, leading 7-2, and the 7 hitters that came up all scored. As you pointed out, did not make it out. That, for a franchise that has had so many problems in their bullpen the last couple of years, that is be a nasty paper to read if you're a bullpen member today.
Man. Now the only thing that would have made it worse for Seattle is if Jose Cruz Jr. would have hit 4 home runs.
That's right. Jose Cruz traded to Toronto last year for a couple of relief pitchers. Timlin, who was in the ball game yesterday. A lot of controversy about that trade. And boy, you're right.
Here's Royce Clayton. Clayton is 0 for 3, batting with 2 outs and runners at first and second. And the pitch is high to make it 2-0.
1 for 3 lifetime. Clayton versus Rodriguez. Russ Ortiz getting loose for the Giants down the bullpen. Now Ron Peronowski going to come out and have a conversation with Rich Rodriguez, I'm sure, to do a couple of things. One, to refocus Rodriguez, and 2, to give Ortiz a chance to get loose.
By the way, just a final note on that game, it was Mo Vaughn who had a grand slam to knock in the last 4 runs. He had struck out 3 times prior to that.
Well, you get those highlights in every highlight every night at 10 o'clock with Fox Sports News as they bring you a complete live wrap-up of the day in sports. Check out Fox Sports News on Fox Sports Bay Area tonight at 10.
2-0 to Clayton. And Clayton gets one into the alley in left center field, and that's going to fall. 1 run will score as the ball rolls nearly to the wall. McGee, who can still run well, he scores. And it's now 7-2 on the double by Royce Clayton. Well, it all happened after 2 are out. And that brings to the plate Brian Jordan. Jordan is 1 for 3. 7-2 St. Louis. Giants still leading in the hit department, but that doesn't matter much. Jordan takes a strike. We're talking about the Red Sox and in that win yesterday. So what happens to Seattle today? Well, they get to face Pedro Martinez, and he shuts them out. Hit on the ground to Bill Miller. He throws in time, a little high, but it gets Brian Jordan to end the inning. 2 runs for the Cardinals on 2 hits. They strand 1. 7.5 in the book. 7-2 St. Louis.
Soon, coming up next, it's Pac-10 women's softball when Cal takes on Stanford.
Mabry now in right field. John Mabry. And Mike Busby is the new pitcher. So in the lineup, Busby will be hitting second, and Mabry will be hitting 6th. Mike Busby in his 5th game, 1-0, allowed 4 earned runs in 5 2/3 innings pitched. telling us what we just told you. Busby pitched in one game for the Cardinals in '96. Got into 3 last year. 6'4", big right-hander. Throws to Brett Maine. With Diaz on deck.
Good live fastball from Mike Busby. Good breaking field, or good breaking ball, rather.
Strike to Brett Maine. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Busby, that when he was coming up, was mentioned in the same breath as Morris.
And a base hit for Maine. He's got 3.
Busby from Lomita, California, 6'4", 210-pounder. He's had some problems with injuries. Can't stay healthy. Get that ball down to Brent Maine. He knows what to do with it. 3rd hit today. Look from the side, stays back nicely. Hips rotate around the ball. Good swing. He's got to be real happy with the way he's swinging the bat right now.
Here's Alex Diaz, who is 0 for 3. And Diaz looked like he wanted to lay down a bunt and took it for a strike. 0-1 is Ron Wotus giving the signs. And Busby throws, and Diaz waves at a breaking ball.
Good snapper right there. Good location with it. Busby is primarily a starter throughout his minor league career. In fact, he really only made 3 relief appearances in 7 years. Came up last year in September, made 3 starts for the Cardinals. Was 0-2 with an 8.79 ERA. 14 innings, he gave up 14 earned runs. Ouch.
And Diaz is out on strikes. Not an at bat that you want to live with for a while, and Diaz takes the long walk back to the dugout. You know, this little guy has decided that he has found a way to pass the day.
So you keep your hands warm on a cool day.
Yeah, at least your thumb. Ray Sanchez has a couple of hits. The scoreboard at 3Com is short-circuited, so they have put balls and strikes up on the jumbotron.
Been a tough series for the scoreboard. Scuffling a little bit this year.
That's a strike.
Good backdoor fastball, 90 mile an hour. Sanchez, he's looking for his 3rd hit, like Brent Maine.
Busby to the plate, and that breaking ball is in for a strike. It started out right at Sanchez.
And buckled him. I mean, when you're looking at a guy for the first time and you see a breaking ball come in like that, you're gonna buckle. But now he's seen it. It's amazing how quickly a major league hitter will adapt. It takes one look. Once they've seen the movement, and they can hit it. You get 1 free pass.
Just off the plate.
I've always marveled at major league hitters. You could go up to a hitter. I mean, he could be out of the game 20 years. You could say any pitcher that was in his era, and right away he'll tell you what he had. How hard he threw, what the movement was, what kind of breaking ball, if he had a changeup.
Hit on the ground. Clayton kicks it. Clayton let it hit the heel of his glove, and it'll be an error on Royce Clayton.
Now, you don't see it happen very often. However, for Clayton, his 3rd error so far this year. Comes over, and as you point out, Kai, hits him high in the glove. Clang.
That'll bring up Stan Javier.
Coach Clayton still has a lot of friends in this area. Pretty good pass list.
He should. He always played well in a Giants uniform.
Yes, he did.
Here's Javier. Stan with a .225 batting average. And it's a ground ball. McGuire backhands it, throws to Clayton. Back to McGuire, and I don't know, Javier didn't run. And Javier's waiting for a call, and I guess the simple call is it's a 3-6-3 double play, and that'll end the inning. We'll head to the ninth. The Cardinals have a 7-2 lead. Reached the ninth inning. 7 runs, 7 hits, and an error for the Cardinals. 2 runs, 9 hits, and 2 errors for the Giants. Father and son telling us we're number 1.
Well, if you're wondering what happened on the play, watch Javier come out of the box. Nice backhand from McGuire, but Javier, like a sniper, got him. Going on the first baseline, he stumbles, falls, and by the time he gets back up, it's too late, and it's a double play. One more look.
Well,
insult to injury here.
It's happened to all of us.
This game will find ways to humble you.
Stan shouldn't feel bad. We see it every day at fantasy camp. Here's Mark McGuire facing Russell Ortiz. Ortiz is, you know, he's been in 2 games and he hasn't really dazzled them. In 2 2/3, he's allowed 1 hit. He's walked 6.
Well, that's been the big blemish, the 6 walks. But his last outing, first base umpire today, Paul Schreiber, was behind the plate, and he really squeezed the youngster.
That's true.
Didn't give him a whole lot. Good fastball, good overhand curveball, and he finds himself pitching against the premier home run hitter in baseball right now, Mark McGuire.
Inside to McGuire, 1-0. This is about the time where all the hitters now are giving a long look at Russell Ortiz. Here's the 1-0 pitch to McGuire, and that's a strike. 7-2. This was a tight ball game until the 7th inning when the Cardinals scored 3 times. Ortiz rocks back and throws a 1-1 pitch. McGuire hits a high drive to left field. Bonds is going back. He's at the wall, and he makes the catch.
Wow. Wind knocked that thing down. Not breaking ball. I think the big fella thought he had one. One hands the ball very high, and the wind just blows it back. And I think he felt he had one.
Well, he started to kick it in right there. Here's Ray Langford. Low. Langford 0 for 3 with a sacrifice fly.
Stick got him.
Got a lot of guys over the years. 2 balls and no strikes to Langford.
Never forget playing with Jack Clark. Clark would hit a ball just right on the nose. Absolutely could not hit any better. The ball get out to the warning track and die, and he'd make the U-turn back to the bench. Come back, sit down, and very quietly say, "Stick got me."
He used to get Jack a lot. On the other hand, Darrell Evans would hit a pop-up to right field, and it would sail out of the park.
The live field right. Oh, my.
That's a strike to Langford. You have one guy smiling and one guy frowning.
But every one of them could sympathize with Willie Mays.
Yeah.
And wonder how many home runs that he got turned around. When in the days of early Candlestick, there was no fence. You had to hit him in the stands, which if you compare it to today, means you'd have to hit it completely over the bleacher section and then back into the stands. How about that for a home run with a windy day? You'd have to hit that thing equivalent to about 600 feet.
Yep, hit it twice. Hit on the ground over the bag. Kent will dive and can't come up with it, and Langford has a base hit. His first hit and the 8th in the game for the Cardinals. Gaetti will come up. See, I was never at Candlestick when they had the AstroTurf infield. Gaetti hits a high fly ball into left center field. Hamilton tells Bonds that he has it, and he does. Langford bluffs a tag, and Hamilton with a good throw. 2 out.
Well, the old AstroTurf here was so hard.
Well, I can't even imagine what it was like playing on that. And they said it wasn't good either.
No, it was bad. It was bad turf. It was flat, worn. Pitching a game here one night against the Giants. Jack Clark hit a one-hopper off my shin, went back to the catcher, and the catcher threw him out at first. I got an assist.
Stick got me.
And I got a knot on my shin. It looked like I had a hard ball in my uniform. It's a little damp and it skimmed up. Oh my. And, you know, Jack, he didn't hit anything other than rockets. I still walk with a limp.
Here's Mabry batting for the first time. Mabry had a solo home run in the game last night. And the pitch is a strike. Talked about that home run. Here it was. Javier almost caught this ball.
I think the ball really surprised Danny Darwin that it went out. But as you pointed out with Darrell Evans so many times with the fly balls going out to right, that's pretty much what happened last night. The ball just sort of carried, and sailed on out.
Strike 2 to Mabry, 0-2.
That pitch had some conviction. Good fastball.
You get 20 former players that played at this ballpark over the course of 40 years. And there's an emergency swing, and you're going to hear some just great stories.
And whatever stories we had when the park was enclosed gets blown away when Tom Haller, Jim Davenport, Willie Mays, Willie McCovey start talking about the days when there was just a chain link fence and a great view of the bay. Candlestick first opened. Those are great stories.
Struck him out on a high fastball. And Russell Ortiz will strand one. Giants' last chance coming up. They'll have the top of the order. Hamilton, Miller, Bonds, 7-2 St. Louis. And the Padres come to town for a 2-game series beginning this Tuesday. Tuesday 7:05 starting time. Wednesday 7:35. Also 3Com Screen Saver Plus night for the first 15,000 fans. 510-762-BALL to order by phone. Check out the Giants dugout store. Hamilton facing Busby. 0-1 to Darrell Hamilton. Inside and low as Hamilton has to scoot to get out of the way. Dana DeMuth saying no swing. So the Reds beat the Rockies 12-5. 1-1 pitch to Hamilton is again in the dirt. Dodgers hosting the Astros later on tonight. Here's Here's the pitch to Hamilton, and he hits a slow, high-bounding ball. Busby reaches for it and makes the play.
I think it helped that he was 6'4", had a wingspan like a condor to flag that one down.
Yes, it did.
Watch the big fella. He falls off the left side, and the ball is right there. Stretch. And once you make the play, an easy flip, and Hamilton's retired.
Also tonight, it'll be the D-backs against the Padres. Joel Adamson against Pete Smith. Bill Miller. 1 ball and no strikes. Barry Bonds on deck. 9th inning. Miller fouls at a souvenir down the left field line for those who have stayed till the end. Checked out this little guy at the beginning of the game, and he has wore a smile and a crooked hat all day. Strike to Miller, 1-2.
Good curveball from Busby today. Over the top, got a little down him on it.
And Miller pulls it, and Busby tags him as Miller went by. A 1 unassisted, and that'll bring up Bonds. Barry Bonds is 2 for 4, a couple of doubles. Bonds now hitting .278. Here's the pitch, and Bonds takes it up and away. Bonds hits one high to right field. Mabry, shading his eyes, now comes in and makes the catch to retire the side. So Busby retires the side in order, and the Cardinals win this one 7-2, evening up the series at 1 game apiece. 7 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error. 2 runs, 10 hits, and 2 errors for the Giants. Stay with us. We'll have more right after this. Well, here at 3Com Park, the Cardinals win it. 7 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error. The Giants, 2 runs, 10 hits, and 2 errors. Bottenfield, the winner, Sean Estes, who pitched pretty well, takes the loss. He is 0-2. With Mike Krukow, Dusty Baker is down in the Giants dugout, and Mike Estes, although he got the loss, showed some encouraging signs.
Well, it's a frustrating thing for a young pitcher like Estes. I mean, he'll look at the box score tomorrow, he'll see 5 earned runs, and he'll think it was a bad performance, but he battled hard today. And you know, the good thing about Estes is he measures success in the win column, and he did not get a win for his team today. And it was a frustrating situation in the 7th inning to watch 2 runs come across the plate where the defense really couldn't do too much about it. A hit batsman and a walk, and I mean, it's a tough way to lose a ball game.
Dusty, with the success that Sean Estes had last year, is it really difficult for him right now to be 0-2?
Well, it is, you know, because I think he only lost like 5 games off last year, but Sean's capable of reeling off, you know, 8, 9 in a row, and certainly try to get him his first victory, you know, today. The thing that probably hurt most is the fact that we left a lot of runners on base early. We had 4 or 5, you know, innings in there where we could have, you know, we had a runner in scoring position, and then in that 7th inning, you know, we had Howard 1-2 and got a pitch up and away, and have Willie McGee 0-2, which I think was almost the pitch of the game. They had him 0-2 and got another pitch up and away on him for a base hit, which really sort of started everything.
It's been a great series so far, Bake. 2 good teams, evenly matched, both good, tough, seasoned professional teams. And it seems like when there's one small opening, the team takes advantage of it, and that's been the difference so far.
Well, you're right. There's always a difference when you got teams that are evenly matched and teams that are quality teams. You know, both are waiting for an opening. Today was tied 2-2. Like I said, we had some opportunities. Morris got out of a couple of tough jams there, and you know, their main opportunity, I think, is, you know, when Willie McGee got that hit. I thought Sean had enough, you know, to entice Royce into a double play situation. Had Steve Reed warming up, but just didn't work today.
All right, thanks, Bake. We'll see you out here tomorrow.
All right.
Thank Dusty Baker for joining us. Well, join us tomorrow at 1 o'clock for the third game of this series between the Cardinals and the Giants. Oral Hershiser will take them on for the Giants. And again, that game will start at 1 p.m. Coming up next on Fox Sports Bay Area is Pac-10 women's softball. Cal takes on Stanford, the big game. Interview guests receive a gift of Adidas sunglasses. For great eye protection, wear Adidas eyewear. For my partner Mike Kruko, our producer Jeff Kuiper, and our director Jim Lynch, I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Have a good night, everybody.